Okay, so for sewing the cuff on, we're going to first divide the sleeve opening here in half. So we're going to not divide it from there, but we're going to actually open this piece so that it's flat. So it's like that. And then divide this entire distance into two parts. So like that, and then I'm just going to put a pin over here so I know that this is my halfway mark. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on the cuff. So we take it, we fold it in half like that, and we're going to put a pin over here so that we know this is the halfway mark. This is just a nice accurate way of doing things. So all we need to do here is we need to make sure that it's going through only one layer of fabric. Okay, so not through both. Then we're going to grab our sleeve and we're going to put right sides together. So we bring the right side of the sleeve onto the right side of the cuff. Oh, that pin is very skew. And so matching those up, you can take the one pin out and use the other pin to pin it in place. Then we're going to work our way to the side. So this part here needs to line up with the seam. So there's your seam of your cuff, and this needs to line up. So both of them need to line up snugly next to each other. You're going to put a pin in, and then what you also need to remember at the back here is your seam, this seam here, is out of the way. So you're not pinning him in. He's not getting caught, he's moved out of the way. Okay, so it looks like that on the back and like that on the front. And you're going to do it on the other side. So grab the other side, move the seam out of the way. So you've got the seam out of the way here. And then you're going to pin it there and put a few more pins. And then when you sew, you're going to sew from the side of the cuff where the fusing is. So you're actually going to open it up like this, and you're going to start, it feels really weird and tricky to get right in there, but you're going to start sewing over here where you can see your stitching. So don't go over that line, but start here, and you're going to sew on the 1 centimeter all the way on the inside till you get to the other side. So the next step with the cuff is to turn the whole sleeve inside out, and then you're basically going to iron the seam up into the cuff. So when you do that, try and pull your seam open. So you're pulling the cuff up and ironing this at the same time. Trying to get this up and this seam, so you want to kind of open the seam nicely here so that it's nice and neat on the other side. So you're ironing this like that all the way around, pushing this inside, so inside like that. Okay, if you don't have a sleeve ironing board like I do, you can do it just on a normal ironing board. And then the next part is quite tricky, but the main idea here is just to get it neat. So if you can open your cuff out like that, just move this. So open the cuff like this, keeping your seam this way, and then you fold your 1 centimeter in. Fold 1 centimeter in like that, and then you fold it over. Then you'll get a nice neat corner. So the main thing is if you just randomly squish it all in, then it's going to be too thick there. So you really want to keep this flat like that. So on your cuff you fold it in 1 centimeter. This seam is out of the way, so it's not, there's not 2 layers of fabric there, or it hasn't doubled back on itself. So that's going down like that, and then you're folding this around and over like that. And then basically what should happen is this fold line should touch your stitching line over here, and then you're going to put a pin in, and the pin mustn't be seen on the other side. Okay, because you're going to sew from this side, you're going to top stitch from this side, you don't want to see the pin on this side. So the pin is just going through the seam allowance layers, and then you just keep going, you just keep doing that, making sure this is all nice and flat, working your way down to the seam touching this line over here. And you just keep pinning, making sure the pins are not visible on the outside. Trying to show you this again. Basically I've opened the cuff out. So this is your cuff. Open it out, fold in the 1 centimeter, make sure this seam is going one way, and then you're folding this over so that it's touching the stitching line over here, and then you're going to put a pin in. So that should be nice, leaving you with a nice neat edge over there. Once you've pinned it in place, you're going to turn the whole sleeve the other way around because you want to sew from the outside. And now you're going to sew along this little edge here, about 2 or 3 mils away from that edge.